Good evening. This is Jackie McLaughlin, and tonight we are here in this webinar to talk about Young Living's Feelings Kit. So this is what the Feelings Kit looks like, and we're going to talk about the 6 oils that are in this kit and ways that you can use them in your everyday life and working through loving your emotional brain, which is what we want to talk about tonight. As many people are probably aware by personal experience, we often have things happen in our lives that might be unpleasant or downright derailing. We can have all kinds of emotional things happen in our life, and these events can cause some deep-seated emotional blocks, if you will, things that can keep us from performing at our best and living our best life and feeling as good as we are meant to feel. So the Feelings Kit is a really fabulous kit that was developed by Gary Young, and basically what he says about the Feelings Kit is that the oil blends featured in the Feelings collection were designed to help promote personal progression.
3, 7, 8, 9, 1, 5, 3.
Sorry about that. So we'll start again with that. The oil blends featured in the Feelings collection are designed to help promote personal progression, and these 6 essential oil blends provide the foundation for encouraging forgiveness as well as identifying your true self. So tonight we're just going to cover briefly, and this won't be a really long webinar because there's 6 oils, but the first one I want to talk about is Inner Child. This is one of my go-to oils when I'm just feeling a little funky and I'm not sure why, because a lot of times when we have things that are so deep in our psyche that we don't really have a recollection of them, a conscious memory. It could be something seemingly insignificant when we were children, but it left a deep impression on us at a very young age. And that's kind of when I find Inner Child is really good for me. So a lot of times when I'm not sure just where the funk is coming from, you know, sometimes we have things happen and we know exactly why we're feeling a little funky or in a bad mood or whatever, but sometimes we just can't put our finger on it. I like to grab Inner Child, put a drop in my hand, and just smell it. The sweet fragrance of Inner Child can be used to encourage you to connect with your authentic self. Now, why do we smell the oils as opposed to just wearing them? You can diffuse them also. Absolutely, that's a great way to get those molecules in the air where you're smelling them. But I like to, if I'm really trying to work on loving my emotional brain, I'm going to put those oils right in my palm of my hand, tuck my hands over my nose, and just breathe nice and deeply through the nose. And that has a way of affecting immediately the limbic brain, which is your emotional brain. The olfactory bulb in the nose has a direct connection to the limbic brain. And that's why these oils work so well for supporting us in an emotional balance. So Inner Child is a great oil to use. And the other thing I want to mention is a little bit about one of the webinars we're going to do next week about frequency and energy. But this also is pertinent to the frequency of our bodies and our minds and our beings. And so when we're not at our best, our frequency is lowered, and we can use these essential oils to raise our frequency. So that's another aspect of what's going on here. The next oil is Present Time. And this oil helps to focus on the here and now. When you're smelling it, you just sort of make a focus or an intention to be present in the now, whatever that means for you, whatever's going on in your life. So, and oftentimes that's what we have to do in order to get past what we've been through in the past. So most of us have probably had things happen in our life that we have a hard time moving past. So we tend to dwell on it. We tend to kind of stay stuck in it as opposed to moving on. We have things happen in our lives that maybe we have no control over, and they came and they happened, and now we're just keep talking about it and we keep staying stuck in it and we can't move on. This is a really good oil to move on from the past and get into the present so that you can then focus on moving into the future. So again, this is a great oil blend to use when you find you're always thinking about all the things that have happened in the past. And usually those are negative experiences. Sometimes people get living in the past because everything in the past in their memory was great. And they can't focus on the present and find what's great in the here and now because they're always thinking about what was good in the past and staying stuck in the past because they feel like that was the best time of their life. So you probably all have met someone like that where, you know, maybe it's a person who, when they were young, they were a superstar in some athletics or even in academics or something, and then as life progressed they became less of a superstar or recognized by others for their abilities, and so they stay stuck in the past because they like that, as opposed to embracing who they are today so that they can move forward and be the best person and the best self, their best self. So present time is a great oil to use in these sorts of situations. And again, as with all these oils, my first recommendation is going to be to put it in your hands and smell it very intensively. And of course, you can also wear it like cologne or perfume, and you can diffuse it. But I like to use these oils when I'm working on loving on my emotional brain. That's the way I like to do it, but best is give it a real good shot through direct inhalation. The third oil is forgiveness. Forgiveness is a delightful aroma that supports the ability to be able to forgive yourself as well as others and letting go of negative emotions, which is an important part of our personal growth. So whether you haven't forgiven yourself for something or whether you haven't forgiven some other person in your life that you maybe feel has wronged you in the past, this is a wonderful oil to use every single day while you envision actually forgiving whomever that is, whether it's yourself or someone else. Again, this is a really powerful way to work on loving that emotional brain of yours and letting go of past wrongs, whether it was something you did wrong or whether it was, and when I say wrong, you know, that's all relative, but we all have our ideas of what's right and wrong. And if we feel like we've been wronged or we feel like we failed somebody or something, oftentimes we can't forgive ourselves. So I find typically we're harder on ourselves than we are on others. So oftentimes forgiveness is an oil that has a lot of really, really powerful effects on people when they're really working on personal forgiveness, forgiving ourselves. And of course, it also works with forgiving others because most of us have been wronged in some way in our life, and some people really hold on to that and can't get past it and can't forgive. And the only way to move on and to really truly move on in life is to forgive self and others. So this is a very powerful oil blend to be used for that very specific intention. Then we have Valor and Valor 2. Valor is a great oil to use every morning to create a positive attitude or to even unwind at the end of a day. It's a really powerful but calming scent, and you can integrate it any time of day, morning, night, middle of the day, whatever. Because it's such a popular oil for so many years, it's hard to keep this one in stock, and we all know that we've been without it for quite a while now. And because of that, Gary Young created Valor 2. This is different oils, but they were created by Gary Young as an alternative for Valor. And he personally created this oil formula to be effective in the same way that the original Valor is. So even though it doesn't smell exactly the same, frequency-wise and chemistry-wise, this is an oil that you should find to be totally sufficient in using in place of the regular Valor until it comes back. And you may find that you learn to like it even more than the original. I don't know. You'll just have to try it and see. I love both of these. I do find them both very effective for whenever I feel like I need Valor. A lot of people realize that the name Valor sort of tells you how it affects the body and the mind, and it's basically like courage in a bottle. So when you're feeling a little unable to move forward in something, maybe it's just picking up the phone and calling, doing a care call in your Young Living business, or it could be something like having to get up and speak, or talking to someone you've been afraid to talk to in a personal way. Any situation in your life that you can imagine where you feel a little timid or fearful, this Valor and Valor 2 are great oils to use in that scenario also. So if you're wanting to work on loving your emotional brain, maybe Valor is a great oil, or Valor 2 is a great oil to start with, to give you the courage to actually keep moving forward using those oils in that way. And then Harmony. Harmony is a really fabulous oil blend, and it's incredibly full of lots of oils. It has royal Hawaiian sandalwood, lavender, ylang ylang, frankincense, orange, angelica, geranium, hyssop, Spanish sage, black spruce, coriander, bergamot, lemon, jasmine, Roman chamomile, palmarosa, and rose. So you can see it is chock full of a lot of fabulous oils, and this is a really great oil that provides an uplifting aromatic experience. And many people have found that by putting Harmony on all of the chakra points, which would be the top of the head, the center of the brow, the throat, the heart, the solar plexus, and just beneath the belly button, and the root chakra, that by putting Harmony in that line, that center line of the body, and all those energy centers, can be a very powerful experience in getting your whole energetic body more harmonized and in line. And I love this oil. I think it's very, very powerful oil blend, and I use it a lot. And it's been coming up on my scans a lot lately, so I've been using it pretty much every day for a little while, and I'm loving what it's doing for me. I can't really put my finger on it, but I do just feel more in tune, if you will. So Harmony is a great oil blend with lots of good stuff in it. And then we have our Release oil. Now Release has ylang ylang, lavender, geranium, royal Hawaiian sandalwood, grapefruit, tangerine, spearmint, lemon, blue cypress, davana, kaffir lime, ocotea, jasmine, matricaria, blue tansy, and rose. So again, this is another blend with many oils in it, and it provides a relaxing aroma that helps us have the ability to let go of anger and frustration. So in Chinese medicine, they talk about how we hold anger in different organs of the body. I mean, emotions. We hold emotions in different organs of the body. And release, I mean, anger and frustration is typically held in the liver. So a great place to apply Release is over the whole liver area. And of course, smelling it, again, all these oils, if we're loving on our emotional brain, we want to smell these oils. And this can help promote harmony and balance. So Release is a great oil to use to create that balancing effect in the emotional brain when we are feeling angry or frustrated, this is a great way to use Release. So that is the oils in the kit of the Feelings kit. And if you haven't tried this kit or the oils in the kit, I highly recommend that you give them a shot, because these are really, really powerful oils, and I love using them all the time. If anybody has any questions, you're welcome to submit them through the chat box. And I will give a minute to see if anybody does. And in the meantime, I will just say thank you for joining us tonight to learn more about the Feelings kit and the oils in the Feelings kit. And I'd like to challenge you to start trying a few new oils. If there's any oils in this kit you have not yet tried, pick one and put it on your next order and just start using it and see what you think. And that's a great way to do with any of the oils that you've never tried yet. You should always be adding at least one new oil every month so that you can try something new and use it for a while, like a couple of weeks at least, every day, because that's the best way to really see how you personally respond to the oils, because everybody's different. Carrie's asking, does this one replace the PT oils we can't talk about? The Freedom Kit, I think those are the Feelings Kit has been around for a really long time, much longer than the Freedom Kits have. And so would I use these if I didn't have those kit? Absolutely. You better believe it, because a lot of people were using oils to help them love on their emotional brains long before the Freedom Kits came out, and they had great success with that. So any of the oils are really, really powerful, and just use them. Try different ones. Yes, there is a difference in the Valor and the Valor 2, other than the oils that make them up. Well, that's what makes them different. So Valor has black spruce, rosewood, blue tansy, and frankincense. And Valor 2 has black spruce, Idaho blue spruce, ylang ylang, frankincense, vetiver, cistus, bergamot, cassia, German chamomile, divana, geranium, coriander, and matricaria. So as you can see, Valor 2 has a whole lot more oils in it than the original Valor. And Gary chose those so that he would get the same effect from the end result. They are going to smell different, but the purpose and the frequency and the chemistry, Gary chose these to be able to come up with a replacement for Valor. So yeah, they're different, but they basically kind of get the same result. So try it and see. That's the only way anybody can know whether oils are going to work and be beneficial for you, is to try them, because every one of us is different, and how we respond to oils could very well be different. And that's why we can't tell people, you know, oh, this oil, you use it for that, because it may work for you, but it doesn't mean it'll work for the next person. And yet they might use a different oil and get great results that you didn't get. So everybody has to play with the oils and experiment with what's best for you. And of course, if you have a biofrequency scanner like the Zyto or the Itovi, and now the Vivaline, all of these are great tools to help you decipher through biofrequency measurements what your body is responding to. So those are great tools to use. If you or someone in your group has these tools, I highly recommend you make use of them on a regular basis. Like, you know, if you have your own, you can do it every day if you want to. I don't do it that often, but you could do them weekly or a couple of times a week. And if you don't have your own, you know, even if you can only do it once a month, that's better than not doing it at all. It's just going to help you narrow down how your body's responding on an energetic level and on a frequency level. So I hope this was helpful. I highly recommend you try some of the blends if you haven't, that are in the Feelings kit, and just smell them and play with them and wear them and use them, and report back to the rest of us what your experience is, because I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that it will be awesome. So thanks again for coming tonight. You guys are awesome, and we'll catch you on the next one. I think, let me check my calendar here. We're going to have a business webinar Friday morning on effective one-on-one. And then next week we've got an intro on Monday night with Ninja Red and Master Formula. Then we're going to do the frequency webinar on Tuesday. That one you need to pre-register for, so be sure to look for that on the Peppermint Patties page and pre-register for that. And then Wednesday we have product education with Sulfurzyme and Agile Ease. So that'll be it for November, and not sure if I'm going to be doing much in December in regards to webinars. We'll just have to wait and see, because I think I'm going to start working with individual teams in a webinar format, but we'll have all these recordings for everybody to use for however long. So thanks again, and you guys have a very, very happy Thanksgiving.